In 2011, Apple introduced Siri, a phone you could talk to that talked back, that understood you. Ask it for dinner spots, the weather, a reminder, a text to mom. No typing, no menus, just speak. The room went quiet, then erupted. Journalists called it science fiction made real. People camped outside Apple stores for days, sleeping bags and thermoses in the October cold. The iPhone 4S sold 4 million units in its first weekend, a record at the time. For 48 hours, the world believed everything had changed. Then, quietly, it fell apart. For the next 14 years, Siri barely moved. A little better with accents, a little faster, but structurally the same product from 2011. Meanwhile, the world changed around it. Google Duplex could call a restaurant and book a table with a voice indistinguishable from a human.
So how can I help you?
Hi, I'm calling to book a women's haircut for a client. I'm looking for something on May 3rd.
Sure, give me 1 second.
Amazon sold over 100 million Alexa devices, turning voice AI into an entire ecosystem. Samsung's Bixby kept iterating until it worked. Then ChatGPT launched in 2022 and hit 100 million users in 2 months, making the whole voice assistant era look like a rough draft. Siri, through all of it, still struggled to set a timer. Ask it to call your wife, it calls your boss. Ask the time in Tokyo, it offers you several websites about Tokyo. It became internet folklore, Reddit threads with tens of thousands of upvotes, meme compilations with millions of views. A decade of jokes about Siri misunderstanding the simplest requests. Analysts called it Apple's biggest strategic mistake. Independent benchmarks had Google above 90% accuracy, Alexa in the mid-80s, and Siri trailing behind both. So the question everyone asked, how did the most valuable company on earth let this happen? Maybe that's the wrong question. Maybe they let it happen on purpose. Apple has never competed on being first. They compete on timing. Digital music players existed before the iPod. Smartphones existed before the iPhone. Tablets existed and failed before the iPad. Smartwatches existed before the Apple Watch. Every time, Apple let someone else define the category, absorbed the early mistakes, and then entered late with something sharper, and took the category over. Apple was loudly present in voice AI for 14 years. They just never tried to win it. So, were they asleep or waiting? Early Siri, Alexa, and Google Assistant were rule-based systems, decision trees with a hard ceiling. Google saw the limits early and poured resources into deep learning, but their huge installed base of devices locked them into the old architecture. They couldn't start over. Apple had no such trap, because they never fully committed to Siri as a technical product. It was a brand placeholder. Apple has an assistant, while real investment went elsewhere, into silicon. The neural engine, quietly introduced in 2017's A11 chip, was built for on-device machine learning, private, fast, deeply integrated with everything on your phone. While competitors raced to build bigger cloud models, Apple was building the hardware for something more personal. When large language models arrived, Apple simply partnered with OpenAI. They didn't need the smartest model. They already had the devices, the platform, and the trust. The App Store, launched in 2008, wasn't just distribution. It was a toll booth. Apple takes roughly 30% of every dollar that flows through it. In 2023, the App Store drove around $89 billion in developer sales, netting Apple an estimated $22 to $25 billion in profit from a platform it built once. Now apply that to AI. Every major AI company needs an iOS app to reach over 1 billion iPhone users, and every one of them pays Apple's toll. No cloud AI has the intimate context that lives on your phone. Your messages, your habits, your location, your health data. Apple's bet isn't the biggest model. It's the one closest to your actual life. Was Siri a failure? By any technical measure, yes, it lost badly. But that may never have been the real game. Siri may have been the most expensive, most visible decoy in business history, keeping Apple in the conversation while the real investment went into chips, privacy, and platform control. While the world laughed at Siri, Apple quietly built a billion-device network and positioned itself as gatekeeper to the most personal AI relationships that will ever exist. If their most obvious weakness was actually a 14-year strategy, what else are they letting you underestimate right now? Augmented reality, a spatial headset, rumored car projects, vast health datasets. None of it has won its category yet. Sound familiar? The pattern was always the point. The product never was.